Hey, night owls. Thank you for joining me on another slow nighttime journey. I hope you're doing well this evening. Feel free to let me know in the comments where you're listening in from tonight. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoy these nighttime journeys, as it really helps the channel. Tonight, we're travelling back in time to an old samurai tea house in Edo-era, Japan, where dice tumble and copper coins clink in the shadows. It's going to be an immersive, gentle adventure. I'm glad you're here with me, and I truly wish you a peaceful night ahead. Go ahead and dim the lights. Maybe turn a fan on low for a soft breeze. Nuzzle into your pillows and blankets, and allow your body to relax. Take a deep breath, and let the day's worries drift away. You deserve this gentle break. Close your eyes if you like, and get nice and cozy. We're about to step into another time and place together. Congratulations. You just woke up in 1785, Edo, old Tokyo, in the hushed back rooms of a samurai tea house. You blink awake to the sound of muffled laughter and the faint clatter of dice on tamami mats. The air is thick with the smoky scent of an oil lantern and the bitter tang of cheap sake. It's past midnight, and you find yourself nestled in the servants' quarters behind a tea house. Your head rests against a wooden post, and for a moment you forget where and when you are. A single paper lantern sways gently from the low ceiling, painting quivering shadows across the walls. Outside, a summer night's breeze sneaks through the gap in the sliding door, cooling the sweat on your brow. You sit up on the creaky floorboards and quietly survey the scene. In this cramped back room, a handful of figures huddle in a circle. They're illuminated by the dim glow of a lantern, their eyes shining with excitement and maybe a little desperation. A pair of low-ranking samurai in simple yukata robes kneel shoulder to shoulder with two household servants in worn cotton kimonos. The status lines have blurred tonight. Samurai and servant united by the allure of the game. In the corner, the tea house's cook pours a few ceramic cups of sake for the group, acting as both host and lookout. He gives you a quick nod as you rouse, as if to say, "Welcome back to the land of the living. Now, ante up." Your heart beats a little faster as you remember why you're here. It started earlier in the evening, after the guests had left the main tea house rooms. Bored and a little buzzed on leftover rice wine, you had slipped back with the staff for a little illicit recreation. By day, you wear 2 swords and guard a lord's storehouse. By nights like this at least, you roll dice with the help. It's technically a crime for you to gamble. The Tokugawa shogunate has strict rules, but here you are. Strict laws against gambling have been on the books for years, threatening commoners with floggings, exile, even death if caught. Yet the warrior class often turns a blind eye to such rules, and indulges in namu, utsa, cow, drinking, gambling, and whoring. Despite the bans, you're no different tonight. After all, what's a little game of chance among friends when the official patrols aren't around? A soft chuckle escapes one of the servants as the dice are scooped up again. "Good, you're awake," he whispers to you with a gap-toothed grin. "We need a fourth player. Your luck might be better than mine." You rub your eyes and shuffle over to join the circle, knees brushing the tamami. As you take your spot, you notice a tiny cockroach skittering away from the sudden movement, probably the same one that crawled over your hand and woke you up a minute ago. You sigh internally. Even the cockroaches are hustling in Edo tonight. At least someone in this room is fast on their feet, you think dryly. You take a deep breath and reach out for the cup and dice. It's a simple bamboo cup, worn smooth by many nights of use, and inside it rattles 2 six-sided dice carved from bone. The game on the floor is familiar to every Edo gambler. Chō-Han, odd even, one person. Tonight, it's your friend with the gap tooth will be the dealer. He'll shake the cup, slam it upside down on the floor, and you and the others wager whether the total showing on the 2 dice will be odd, Chō, or even, Han. A straightforward game, but in the hush of this night, it feels like high drama. "Place your bets," the dealer whispers. Beside you, the other samurai, a scrawny fellow named Gyro, slides 3 copper coins into the centre of the circle. His bet? Odd. The servant on his left pats down his pockets and only finds 2 coins, which he puts in for even. All eyes turn to you. You loosen the small pouch at your waist and fish out a few mon coins. They are warm from being against your body. Each is a round copper coin with a square hole in the centre. Kanetsuho, the inscription reads, from an older era. You have perhaps a dozen coins total to your name right now, the sad remains of your monthly stipend. You hesitate, then pick out 4 coins and stack them gently with the others. Even, you murmur, choosing the safer bet in your mind. 4 mon. A small sum, but your hands are sweating as if it were a fortune. To put it in perspective, 1 pickled radish in the market costs about 16 mon, and 10 pickled eggplants about 50 mon. So your wager is hardly enough to buy breakfast. Still, in this dim room, those coins mean everything. If you lose, that's 4 fewer coins for rice tomorrow. If you win, maybe you can afford a bowl of hot soba noodles on the way home at dawn. Your stomach quietly reminds you it's been hours since dinner. Incentive enough to hope the dice are kind. The dealer gives the bamboo cup a good shake. The rattling of the dice sounds loud in the stillness. Everyone watches intently. Even the cook has paused his pouring to see the outcome. With a quick motion, the dealer slams the cup down on the floor, upside down, trapping the dice beneath. Your heart jumps at the sharp sound. Or maybe it's skipping a beat from the sake and nerves. Increase the stakes, or call it. The dealer asks in a low voice. This is part of the ritual, giving players a moment to double their bets before the reveal, if they dare. Gyro, the scrawny samurai, chews his lip and adds one more coin to his odd bet. The servant shakes his head. He is all in already with just 2 coins left in his possession. You consider your nearly empty pouch. You have a couple of coins still tucked away. Perhaps sensing your temptation, the cook catches your eye and gives the tiniest shake of his head. A wordless warning. You gulp and decide against risking more. I'm good, you whisper, palms a bit clammy on your knees. The dealer nods. The room feels even quieter now. Somewhere outside in the night, a wooden clapper taps. The distant watchman signalling the hour, or perhaps a signal that all's well. How ironic, you think, if they only knew. With a deliberate slowness, the tease is half the fun. The dealer lifts the cup. The dice underneath show a 5 and a 1, total 6, which is even. Hun. A grin spreads across your face before you can restrain it. You won. Gyro curses under his breath, and the servant who bet even with you lets out a soft sigh of relief. Your 4 mon just became 8 mon. It's not exactly a payday to boast about, but in this lean season, you'll take it. Quietly, you reach out and pull the little pile of coins toward you. They feel satisfyingly heavy in your palm. Gyro scratches his neck and laughs softly, conceding, beginner's luck. You smile politely, trying not to look too pleased. In truth, luck is one thing you haven't had much of lately, so this feels good. As you tuck the coins back into your pouch, you notice your hands still trembling. The thrill of risking even that small amount has sent a jolt of adrenaline through your veins. It's absurd, you think. Just moments ago, you were dozing uselessly, and now your heart is pounding like you're on a battlefield. You glance at the servant who lost. He's avoiding everyone's eyes and has the tight, forced smile of someone pretending it doesn't hurt. Losing 2 mon is trivial to a samurai like you, but to him it might mean going without lunch tomorrow. You catch the cook's eye again. He's already moving to pour a bit of sake into the loser's cup, a silent consolation prize. In this improvised fraternity of the night, small gestures mean a lot. Leaning back on your heels, you savour the minor victory and the camaraderie. The dealer passes the cup to Gyro for the next round. Before he shakes, Gyro arches an eyebrow at you. Double or nothing? He whispers impishly. The itch of the gambler. 1 win and they want more. You chuckle and shrug. Why not play a little longer? After all, the night is young, and you've got a pocket warmed with coins now. Another round begins. Gyro shakes the cup with a showy flourish, perhaps to intimidate or just to make the tiny game feel grand. This time you wager on odd, sliding 5 mon into the pot. The coins clink together as you do, and you notice one of them is actually not copper but iron. A cheaper kanai coin minted during a recent shortage, darker and lighter than the rest. You think. Even the currency's been gambled on. They gambled that iron coins would do, and lost. A faint smile touches your lips at the absurd detail. Gyro slams the cup down. Odd or even, he prompts, eyes glinting. The little group places their bets, but you hesitate a moment. Something in Gyro's manner seems overly confident. You've seen that look before. It's the look of a man who thinks he knows something others don't. A suspicion tickles the back of your mind. Could the dice be fixed? Loaded dice, weighted to land on certain numbers, are not unheard of in disreputable gambling circles. You glance at the dice as they lie hidden under the cup. These look like normal bone dice, but who knows? Perhaps the cook or Gyro tampered with them earlier. Or maybe Gyro has practiced a special way of rolling to get the outcomes he wants. Your eyes narrow slightly. If the dice are rigged for, say, an even outcome, then Gyro's confident bet on odd could be a ruse to draw others in on even, so he can win big next round. Or vice versa. The possibilities swirl in your tired brain. Paranoia, maybe, but every gambler learns to be a bit paranoid. You clear your throat softly. "Mind if I inspect the dice after this?" you whisper. It's a bold question, practically accusing him of cheating without saying it outright. The circle goes quiet. Gyro fixes you with a level stare. For a heartbeat, you worry you've made a grave mistake. Accusing a fellow samurai of dishonor can itself spark trouble. Then Gyro breaks into a lopsided grin. "By all means," he says lightly. "You can inspect them right after I win your coins." A few of the others chuckle, tension diffused. The cup is lifted. 3 and 4, total 7. Odd. Gyro whoops under his breath, thrilled that he won, and that his dramatic bravado paid off. Your heart sinks a little. You lost that round. Goodbye, 5 mon, but you're also relieved to see the result. If those dice were loaded, they certainly didn't favour the house this time. Maybe Gyro's just a lucky sort, or a naturally smug guy. Either way, you offer a congratulatory nod as he scoops up the coins. True to his word, Gyro tosses one die toward you. It rolls across the tamami and stops at your knee, showing a 2. You pick it up. Turning it in your fingers, it's slightly yellowed with age, tiny cracks in its edges. Looks and feels legitimate. You shake it in your palm and let it fall. A 5 this time. Seems random enough. "Satisfied?" Gyro asks softly, a hint of pride in his tone. You bow your head once. Just had to be sure. Can't be too careful. There's an unspoken understanding. He doesn't hold your caution against you. In fact, he pours a thimble of sake and hands it to you as a peace offering. "Kampai," he says. Cheers. You drink the warm rice wine in one gulp and nearly gag. It's even harsher than it smelled. More like a throatful of hot vinegar with a hint of gasoline. You suppress a grimace. This isn't the top-shelf stuff they served in front of the customers, that's for sure. Must be the dregs or some home brew the cook concocted. It warms your belly, though, and steadies your jittery nerves. Perhaps a bit of liquid courage isn't so bad. Smooth, you lie with a playful wince, and a few of the men laugh quietly. The game moves on. The cup passes to the servant, then back to the gap-toothed dealer. You win some, you lose some. A couple more coins shuffle your way, only to be lost on the next turn. It's all right. The point isn't really the money at this level. It's the little spark of life it gives all of you on an otherwise dreary night. By day you enforce laws or scrub floors or carry water for your lord, bound by duty and hierarchy. By night, here, you're just a group of equals sharing in risk and reward, telling crude jokes under your breath and feeling alive. At one point, the cook joins in for a round, and the circle grows by one. He's a portly man with a shiny bald head, and he immediately lives up to the stereotype of beginner's luck, rolling exactly what he bets, and clapping a hand over his mouth to contain a jubilant shout. Everyone sniggers at his barely contained excitement. "Don't quit your day job," Gyro teases him, "or do you might make a fine professional gambler." The cook grins and shakes his head, patting his belly. "The day I rely on luck for my rice," he murmurs, "is the day I go hungry." There's truth there. None of you here can afford to gamble beyond these petty stakes. This isn't one of the grand gambling halls rumoured to exist in the pleasure quarters, where Chobuichi and other games run high and wild. No, this is a safe little bubble of poverty gambling, small enough not to destroy you, hopefully, yet thrilling enough to keep you awake. You smile to yourself, realizing how serious you're waxing philosophical in your own head. Must be the sake warming your thoughts. This dingy room isn't exactly a noble tableau of fraternity. Gyro has been surreptitiously scratching his scalp, and you suspect he has lice. And one of the servants keeps coughing into his sleeve. But in the grand scheme, it's oddly wholesome that you're all here rather than out causing trouble in the streets. Perhaps the government's loosening of small gambling did more good than harm after all. A sudden thump against the outside wall jolts everyone. The cook nearly drops the sake bottle. Your hand flies to the dagger at your belt by instinct. For a single frozen second, you imagine it's a band of robbers about to burst in, or worse, the town magistrate's men on a gambling raid. Your heart leaps into your throat, eyes wide. You and your companions hold your breath, ears straining. Through the paper-thin wall you hear a groan and a shuffle. Then laughter, drunken laughter. A high-pitched female voice slurs something unintelligible, followed by a man's hushed replies. It seems a drunk couple just stumbled against the back of the tea-house. Nothing more. Gyro exhales loudly and grins. "Easy, everyone," he whispers. And you realize you weren't the only one who panicked. One servant still has a few coins clenched tightly in his fist, ready to hide them or run. The cook chuckles in relief and wipes a bead of sweat from his brow. "Thought that was Marchibidio's men for sure," he mutters, naming the city commissioner's patrol. So did I, you think, feeling your pulse gradually slow. As the group relaxes again, you unclench your hand from your dagger's handle. Your palms are sweaty. It occurs to you that getting caught would mean serious trouble, especially for the commoners here. A samurai like you might get away with a stern warning or a reprimand from your superior, if you're lucky and he's in a forgiving mood. But a gambling commoner could face brutal punishment under the law. In the past, there were even edicts threatening death to any low-born caught wagering. These days, perhaps they'd be content with a beating or a fine or branding. You glance at the cook's forearm, where a faded blue tattoo mark peeks out from under his sleeve. You've noticed it before. It looks like a simple shape, maybe the kanji for dog or a small cross. It's the kind of mark the authorities sometimes tattooed on criminals. Could he have been caught gambling before? The thought sends a shiver through you. Maybe that's why he prefers the safety of small games at home now. To lighten the mood after that scare, the gap-toothed dealer, who you've learnt is named Jen, decides to introduce a different game. "All right, lads," Jen whispers with a mischievous grin. "Time for a little shell game. Ever play it?" He pulls from his sleeve 2 small clamshells and a tiny pea-sized pebble. Indeed, he's referring to the classic trickster's game. Hide the pebble under one of the shells. Shuffle them around and bet on which shell conceals the prize. A couple of the others chuckle. This is more a street con than an official gambling game, but why not? It might be fun. Jen places the 2 half clamshells upside down on the floor and, with exaggerated deliberation to get a laugh, covers the pebble under one of them. Which shell hides the stone? Even odds. Straightforward as can be, he proclaims in a fake dramatic whisper, mimicking the patter of carnival hustlers. You smirk, appreciating the humour. Normally, the shell game is played with 3 shells to make it harder. But with 2, it's a pure 50-50 chance, unless Jen plans to cheat by palming the pebble, which, knowing him, he very well might. He shuffles the shells around with quick practice fingers. They make a soft scraping on the tatami. Everyone watches, amused and curious. When he stops, he wiggles his eyebrows at you. "Care to wager 1 coin on left or right, sir?" he asks you, since you're next to him. You play along. "Sure," you say, putting a single coin down. Left shell. Gyro puts a coin on the right shell, grinning. Jen slowly lifts the left shell. It's empty. A few sniggers as you shake your head theatrically. Jen then lifts the right shell, also empty. The pebble is gone. There's a moment of confusion. Then we all see the pebble somehow sitting neatly atop Jen's hand. The scoundrel had secretly scooped it up. He silently bows as if he's a master illusionist, and you stifle a laugh. Even in Edo's servant quarters, a bit of magic trickery lives. Tonight and this morning have been an unexpected journey, one that you travelled bravely and in good company. Now the journey has brought you here to a quiet moment of repose. In your mind's eye, images of lantern-lit rooms and friendly faces dissolve into the softness of sleep. The last thought you register is a gentle wish echoing in your head. May nights like this always end in peace. You've made it through the adventure, my friend. Now, let go of any lingering tension. Feel the calm of the morning wrap around you. You are safe. You are at ease. And it's time to rest. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. Until our next nighttime adventure, sweet dreams.